Happy lunch hour, gang. Okay. Interesting question came up in last night's live stream after, of course, we had the drawing. Lynn Alzenga, I still have not received the email from you with your address, so if you're watching this video, please email that to me. It's below every video on how to get a hold of me, but unless you get me your address, I can't get you your prize. But there was an interesting question that came up yesterday, and we talked about it for a little bit. Of course, that's if you could hear me with the audio issues we were having. We'll try something different next week and see if we can fix those. But the question came up of something along the lines on how I see all these supply chain issues affecting us over the summer. And so we talked about it a little bit. And then I ran across an article this morning entitled, "It's going to be an extinction-level asteroid wiping out the dinosaurs kind of event," talking about the supply chain issues that we have. And the article went in to explain about small businesses going to get crushed because they can't get their product from China, or we're going to have a hard time finding things on store shelves, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You and I, anybody watching this channel, shouldn't have any problems, okay? Because all those supplies that people need, we should already have. If there's anything that you're worried about not being able to get this summer, go get it now. What that worry is in your head is telling you exactly what your shortcomings are in your preps. Backups to backups. I mean, I'm going to guess that most of us, unless you just recently started your journey here, have a good pantry full of food, freezers full of food. You know, you can handle 6 months, a year. May not be eating the same way you normally eat. May not be able to get everything. You know, it's kind of hard to store milk, unless, of course, you got powdered milk, which you should have, or eggs, which you should have powdered eggs, you know, whole 9 yards there. There's alternatives. Maybe you have chickens. Maybe you have cows and you can get milk. Gee, there's a barter item if you got it. But the other stuff, oh, gee, you know, what if the power goes out? Okay, maybe you should be focusing on getting that taken care of. Well, I can't afford that, so at least I've got candles. Do you have ample candles? Or flashlights and have batteries? Or socks or underwear or jeans, shoes, whatever you need. If there's anything that you're worried about, oh my God, we get this stuff from China and I'm going to need more of it, maybe go get it now while it's still on the shelves. Then we get the caveat with everything that's going on with India, Pakistan. And apparently, since this morning's video, that's ramped up a little bit more. There's more shooting, and they're starting to shoot artillery at each other a little bit. That ain't good, okay? All joking aside, because, oh my God, what are you going to do if your DirecTV doesn't work? Okay, who are you going to call? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about other things. Your medicines, okay? 80-some-odd% of the medicine we get, that we take, and I think I've told you before, is either 40 or 60, I think it's 60% of the American public is on some sort of prescription med. Yeah, okay. 80% of those medicines come from India via China to us, okay? Now, the Trump administration announced yesterday that there are going to be, I think, 3 pharmaceutical plants are going to start being built in the United States. They're not going to be up by the 4th of July. Okay, that's not going to happen. So maybe figuring out, talking to your doctor, going online and buying some of this stuff if you can do it. I mean, there's some meds that you can get through Canadian pharmacies or something. I'm not recommending anybody in particular. I'm just saying there's things you can get online too. But having a supply, most of the time you get 90-day supply at your doctor's office. See if you can get another 90-day supply now. And maybe it gives you 4 months or 5 months. Maybe if you're lucky, the doc will give you a second one. It gives you 6 months supply. If we can't get the meds. Because we can all remember what happened with COVID and the supply chain and the ports of Los Angeles and the ports of Long Beach, and nobody was unloading everything, and people were screaming bloody murder that there was no toilet paper in the stores or whatever. Okay? Hopefully you have enough toilet paper. So I'm not thinking that's like the high priority thing to get. But when we talk about all of these current events, you need to look at how they're going to affect you. And they should help you figure out where your holes are. What do we get? What do I buy that comes from China that the price is going to go up on? Maybe I should go get some extra. What do I get from India that if this war gets bigger, how's it going to affect me? What am I missing? But when we're seeing these stories, whether or not they're hype or not, I'm not going to say. You know my theory on that. A lot of it is just clickbait. If it is, fine. You've got 4 bottles of aspirin in the house right now. Just using that as an example. If it isn't, good. You've got 4 bottles of aspirin in the house. You don't have to worry about it, okay? Or socks or underwear or whatever, okay? It doesn't matter, Not saying go out and buy dozens of Barbie dolls and hope to God you can corner the market on Barbie dolls. Like we had those people during COVID trying to buy hand sanitizer all over the place and then gouge at it. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying have enough supply that if the shelves are empty, it's not going to affect you. That's what we all prep for anyway. The majority of preppers are like prepping for Armageddon type things. Oh my God, if the stores don't exist, if there's no more grocery store, no more hardware store, if it's a 1 second after scenario and everything's closed and I'm not going to be able to get anything. That's the mindset that we prep for. Okay? What if it is a extinction level asteroid wiping out dinosaurs kind of event? And there is nothing on the store shelves at Walmart or the grocery store or whatever. You should have it all, right? Go look through your normal day and say, what's made in China? Hint, almost everything, okay? What do I know I'm going to need in the next 6 months? Need, not want, need, okay? Well, I'm going to need toothpaste. I'm going to need deodorant. Maybe I'm going to need a new toothbrush. Okay, next time you're at the store, pick those up. You know what? My battery supply is getting a little low. My candles are getting a little low. Go out and pick those up. Because now, before we start getting whacked with the tariff charges, at least the prices for most things haven't gone up yet. Even if it's on the store shelves in a month and 2 months. If the $2 candle is now a $5 candle, okay, maybe not. This is why I like to talk about current events. I like to be able to be out in front of this stuff. We are preppers. We are supposed to be proactive, not reactive. Again, I use the example all the time. The time to go out and buy plywood to cover your windows when a hurricane's coming to Florida is not the morning the hurricane's supposed to hit. Okay? It's the same thing with prepping. You've got advance notice of this. Do something about it. It ain't rocket science. Pinball out.